Welcome back to the world right now. Some of the biggest music names are making a splash as they announce the first artist-owned streaming service. It's called Tidal and it's being launched by Jay-Z. Let's go live now to New York where Samuel Burke is. And Samuel, a lot of big names have jumped on board. Beyonce, Alicia Keys, Kanye West, Madonna. Explain how this will work.
Well, there are some big differences between Tidal and Spotify, the most important of which is the one that you just mentioned, the fact that the artists are behind it, because as we all know, a lot of artists have been very upset with Spotify and the other streaming music services. Now, we've even learned that the artists are going to get shares in the company. That's probably why they're happy. They're going to be getting some compensation in return for some exclusive content. So maybe Madonna or Rihanna will have their songs on Tidal exclusively or before they go onto services like Spotify. Another big difference is there's no free version. Arguably, Spotify has gotten a lot of people onto streaming music, streaming services, because they have that free version and then later they get people to pay. So here, Tidal will only be charging $9.99 a month like Spotify, but there's not that free version to get people in at first. And another big difference, Tidal will be charging $20 a month for a premium version, which has high-def sound. Now, can you actually hear the difference between Spotify and the high-def sound? Yeah, you can hear the difference. I've tried it out and I can hear a slight difference. But it's very difficult to stream high-definition audio onto your phone if you're using streaming mobile, which most people are these days. So I think a lot of people aren't going to opt for that $20 a month. But these are some big differences between these services, Linda.
Huge differences. And we know that Taylor Swift famously yanked her music off Spotify back late last year, and she's jumped on Tidal. So do you think this will ensure that she makes more money?
Well, you're right that she's jumped on Tidal, but still her latest album isn't on there. So this is what a lot of artists have done. They'll put most of their catalog on, but not the newest songs on, because they still want people to try and download them, even though downloading is quickly becoming something of the past. So Taylor Swift really will be the test case in all of this, what she does. And don't forget, her music is still on other artists, on other streaming service platforms. So we'll see. But she was one of the few people whose music is on here, this new service Tidal, who didn't change her profile blue in support of Tidal music, unlike a lot of the other artists, including Beyonce, who's of course Jay-Z's wife.
And just quickly, with all this exclusive content on Tidal, does it mean that the likes of Spotify and Pandora will lose money?
Well, at the end of the day, Tidal only has a few 100,000 users right now. Spotify has millions that are already paying. So Spotify has a big leg up in this race. And I think the other thing to keep in mind is that Apple didn't just buy Beats for the headphones, they also bought Beats for that streaming music service. So I think the most important game in all this is to watch what Apple does in the coming months.
Excellent. Now I'm going to have that Taylor Swift song in my head for the rest of the day.
Shake it off.
Samuel Burke, thanks so much for joining us as always. This has been The World Right Now. I'm Lynda Kinkade. Thanks for joining us. Quest Means Business starts right now.